It happened on a late Saturday afternoon, the kind where the sky carries that soft, yellow haze that makes every street look like it's wrapped in a quiet memory. I remember standing by the kitchen window, watching dust float in the sunlight, waiting for my daughter, Alina, to come downstairs. The house was unusually still, except for the faint hum of the old refrigerator and the ticking of the clock near the pantry. We were supposed to leave for her school's autumn festival, a place she had been talking about for weeks. Yet something in her steps when she finally came down felt heavier than excitement. She held a small silver hair clip in her hand, twirling it between her fingers. It was a simple thing, shaped like a tiny crescent moon, something she'd worn since she was 8. It had become her quiet symbol, a little glimmer in her hair that I had always loved. But now she was just holding it, not wearing it, rubbing her thumb across its surface like she was trying to smooth out a worry I couldn't see. When she reached me, she stopped and sighed. The kind of sigh that didn't belong to a 14-year-old, but to someone older, someone carrying something unnamed. "Dad," she whispered, not looking directly at me, "please, just don't embarrass me today, okay?" Her voice was soft, careful. I could barely hear it over the fridge. For a moment, I just stared at her, caught between surprise and the sting that rose in my chest. Embarrass her? After all these years of being the steady one at every event, the parent who stood in the back, who clapped at the right moments, who didn't overstep. But she looked tense, shoulders tight, jaw set like she was bracing for something. I nodded slowly. "All right," I said simply. "I won't." She gave a quick, relieved breath, then tucked the moon clip into her pocket and walked to the door. I don't think she noticed how her words echoed after her, lingering in that kitchen longer than we did. On the drive there, she kept staring out the window, her fingers tapping anxiously against her thigh. Sometimes she would pull out the clip, hold it up to the light, then hide it again. I didn't ask why. I sensed that whatever was going on was taking shape inside her, and pressing her for answers would only make her retreat further. Before everything changed, life between us had been predictable in the quietest, safest way. Alina and I had always been close. She used to talk to me about everything, from her school projects to the shapes she found in passing clouds. It had just been the two of us since she was 5, and I had learned the rhythm of her world the way a sailor learns the ocean, every shift, every silence, every rising tide of emotion. But that year had been different. There was a distance forming, not a sharp one, but a slow drift, like land separating from an island inch by inch. At first, I told myself it was normal. Teenagers pull away. They grow into secrets. They want the world to expand without their parents watching. I tried to stay patient. But moments like that whisper, "Don't embarrass me," made me realize the drift might be wider than I thought. By the time we reached the festival, the school grounds were filled with the warm smell of popcorn, the squeak of worn-out ride wheels, and clusters of students huddled in animated circles. The air buzzed with young voices and distant music. Alina walked slightly ahead of me, her steps quick and deliberate, trying to blend into the crowd before anyone could notice who she had walked in with. I stayed back, letting her guide the distance. She spotted her friends near the art booth and turned to me with a polite smile that wasn't meant for me, but for how we might appear. "I'll just be over there," she said, and without waiting for my response, she hurried toward them. I stood near the walkway, hands in my pockets, trying to look as unassuming as possible. Parents milled around, some waving at teachers, others trailing after toddlers with sticky hands. I recognized a few faces, people I'd met at parent meetings or school plays, but today no one approached me. I didn't mind. I wasn't here for me. I watched Alina from a distance, noting how she laughed with her friends, her posture lighter now. She was weaving between moments of comfort and moments of checking if I was watching. It was a strange thing. Knowing your presence brings both security and unease to someone you love. About 15 minutes passed before I felt a gentle tap on my arm. "Mr. Rahim?" a voice said with shy warmth. I turned and saw a girl around Alina's age smiling up at me. She wore a maroon sweater and had a small floral backpack slung over one shoulder. But what caught my eye wasn't her outfit. It was the small silver charm clipped to her zipper. A tiny crescent moon. The same shape, nearly identical to the one Alina kept twisting in her pocket. "Oh, hello," I said, offering a smile. I'm Zara," she said. "I'm in Alina's class." Before I could respond, she stepped forward and wrapped her arms around me in a soft, unexpected hug. It lasted only a moment, but it was full of sincerity, a kind of gratitude that didn't need words. "I just wanted to say thank you," she murmured before letting go. I froze, unsure what I was being thanked for. But what unsettled me most wasn't the hug. It was the look I saw when I glanced at Alina across the school lawn. She had gone pale, completely, like all the color had drained from her face. Her eyes wide, body stiff. She looked terrified. And then she turned away, shoulders trembling, and walked quickly behind one of the tents. I excused myself from the girl and followed in the direction my daughter disappeared, feeling the weight of something unknown building inside my chest. When I found her, she was standing near the back of the festival grounds, gripping the metal rail of a ramp as though it was the only thing holding her upright. The moon clip was in her hand again, pressed so tightly against her palm that her knuckles were white. "Alina?" I said softly. She didn't look at me. She just kept breathing hard, each breath shallow and unsteady. "I told you not to embarrass me," she whispered, but her voice cracked on the last word. "I didn't do anything," I said gently. She came up to me. She hugged me. What was I supposed to do? She let out a shaky exhale, pressing the heel of her hand to her eyes. "You don't understand," she said. "You never understand." That sentence landed heavier than anything she had said before. All I wanted in that moment was to reach for her shoulder, but something told me she wasn't ready for touch. Not yet. "Then help me," I said quietly. "Explain it to me. What happened?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she lifted the moon clip and stared at it, as if the little object held every feeling she was trying to swallow. I realized then how symbolic it had become. Not just an accessory, but a piece of herself she clung to when she felt lost. Finally, she spoke. "It isn't about the hug," she whispered. "It's about everything." Her shoulders shook. Tears began to gather in her lashes, though she angled her face away. "You think I'm pulling away because I'm growing up," she continued. "But that's not why. It's because—" She swallowed, struggling for steady breath. "Because things at school are different. People see me differently." I waited, heart tightening. "Everyone knows I only have one parent," she said softly. "And they talk. They talk all the time. They whisper things about you, about us, and I hate it. I hate being the girl people feel sorry for. The girl with a dad who works late and shows up tired and doesn't fit into their perfect family pictures." I felt her words like stones dropping into water, each sinking deeper than the last. "I didn't know," I managed. She shook her head. "I didn't want you to know. I don't want you to feel bad. You already do so much. But Zara hugged you like—" She paused, trying to steady her voice. "She hugged you like she knows you. Like you're better than how people talk about you." A quiet realization washed over me. "So you're worried about looking different?" I asked gently. She nodded through her tears. "Yes, I'm tired of being different." The wind carried the scent of caramel apples from the festival, oddly at odds with the heaviness between us. I leaned against the rail beside her, not touching her, but close enough that she knew I was there. "You're right," I said after a moment. "We are different. It's just the two of us. And maybe people talk. People always talk when they don't understand something." I glanced at her, but she kept staring at the moon clip. "But being different isn't wrong. It isn't something to hide or run from." She didn't respond, but her breathing had slowed, the rigid tension in her shoulders softening slightly. "And about Zara?" I continued. "I don't know why she thanked me. I don't know what she sees in me, but I know what I see in you." She finally looked at me, eyes wet, vulnerable. "I see a strong, kind, thoughtful girl who's trying to make space for herself in a world that demands she fit into a mold." I paused. "But you don't have to be ashamed of where you come from or who's standing beside you." She pressed the moon clip to her lips as if drawing courage from it. "I'm scared," she admitted quietly. I'm scared of being judged. I know, I said. But hiding me, it won't protect you. It'll just hurt both of us. A long silence followed, but it wasn't empty. It was the kind of silence that lets truth settle. After a moment, she reached out and placed the moon clip in my hand. I looked at it, its smooth curve glowing softly in the fading sunlight. It felt strangely warm, as if it had absorbed all the emotions she'd carried with it. I don't know why it bothers me so much, she whispered. I just didn't want today to go wrong. It didn't, I said softly.